As we approach Halloween, it means it's time for some spooky adventures. So, what better way to go on a little adventure by being a hermit for a whole day? Wow, hermit for a day. That's quite a thing to do. Oh, it's for mental health. Oh, yeah, here we go. That's right, first up we got National Hermit Day. You can get away from it all and de-stress by spending some time on your own to recharge. Hermits by definition are people who prefer seclusion to socialization, which is the opposite of me. They spend their lives living separated from the rest of the world. Traditionally, hermits choose this lifestyle because of religious reasons. Their days are filled with prayers, invoking the deities, and just musing on their general philosophy of life. Some famous historical hermits include Father Maxime Kavtaradze, who lives on a pillar in Georgia, and Willard MacDonald, who lived as a hermit for 60 years in Canada. But you do not need to cut off all of your worldly ties to celebrate National Hermit Day. You can choose to spend the day or a part thereof by yourself in your favorite quiet spot, doing whatever activity gives you peace of mind. In the frenetic pace of our world, most people complain about too little me time, which you can start sorting out by taking part in National Hermit Day. 1700s, royalty and elite groups start hiring hermits for their gardens since it's fashionable to have garden hermits around. 21st century people are encouraged to spend some time alone with themselves to reinvigorate their spirits. So there you go. It is also National Oatmeal Day, celebrating one of the world's most versatile, familiar foods. But how many of us know more than that? How many ways are there to prepare it? With all the ways to eat and use oatmeal, it's no wonder we had to dedicate a whole day to it. Back in 7000 BC, oats are one of humankind's earliest cultivated foods. In fact, the ancient Chinese knew all about the grain. And in 1000 BC, according to some historians, the wild ancestors of modern oats were prevalent in Asia, but they weren't domesticated until sometime in the first millennium BCE in what is now Central Europe. In the 1800s, the Scots have eaten oatmeal for centuries. The grain itself grows well in the part of the world due to that country's low temperature and high humidity. And in 1755, Johnson's A Dictionary of the English Language described oatmeal as a grain which in England is generally given to horses, but in Scotland supports the people. Huh. Well, that's a weird way to call some people out. We also got National Pharmacy Buyer Day, held on the Friday in the last full week of October to honor the people who managed the changing inventory of pharmacies across the U.S. Since everyone prefer pharmacies' shelves stocked with the right drugs at all times, we lived the idea of celebrating National Pharmacy Buyer Day. In the mid-1700s, the Pennsylvania Hospital is co-funded by the founding father of the U.S. and pharmacist Benjamin Franklin in Philadelphia to take care of the poor and homeless suffering from physical and mental illnesses. And in the early 1800s, the first American licensed pharmacist, Louis Duffiot, sets up shop in the French Quarter and sells traditional and voodoo medicine. We also have World Psoriasis Day, which is a word that I haven't actually heard before, shines a light on challenged faces by those suffering from psoriasis and psoriatic arthritis. Psoriasis is a disease that results from an overactive immune system and is evidenced by rashes on the skin. While most immune systems take 30 or so days to push new cells to the skin, those with psoriasis push new cells within 2 or 3 days. On World Psoriasis Day, psoriasis associations strive to spread information about the condition and improve access to the treatment. The disease was recognized in 1809. Dr. Robert Willan of England identified it as its own separate entity. In 1840, the word lepra was removed from the definition of psoriasis, separating it from the disease of leprosy. There you go. It used to be considered part of that. We also have World Stroke Day. The World Stroke Organization states that 1 in 4 adults will experience a stroke in their lifetime, and this is why the official World Stroke Day on October 29th aims to raise awareness about the ailment worldwide. In simple words, a stroke happens when the blood supply to your brain is cut off, resulting in temporary or permanent damage to your brain cells. 2,400 years ago, Hippocrates, a Greek physician, is the first person to record strokes in history, calling it apoplexia, which he describes as the stagnation of blood causing an interruption of spirit to the brain and body. Proper treatment for the stroke comes in the 1800s, and causes of strokes. Medical research shows that high cholesterol levels, smoking, and high blood pressure are high risk factors, are evident in the 1900s 2000s rapid treatment is method to reduce stroke casualties is developed for hospitals to help patients suffering from a stroke. We also got National Breadstick Day. It's a bit of a twist or a switch up in tone. Breadsticks are slender sticks of baked, crispy, dry goodness invented in Italy. Aside from their crunch, totally read that wrong. The best thing about breadsticks is that they can be eaten as an appetizer, or you can dress them up with all manner of culinary embellishments. Yum, with an explanation point at the end. In 1643, a Florentine abbot originally described grissini as long-shaped, bone-thin bread made in town outside of Turin. And in 2014, following a corporate merger with Olive Garden, Starboard Value shocked the business world by eliminating the famous all the breadsticks you can eat policy, believing that hungrier customers would buy more entrees. It worked. Olive Garden stock skyrocketed by 47%. Oof. There goes all of those now you can eat breadsticks. Sad. It's also Frankenstein Friday, the last Friday of October, falling this year on October 29th. Was created to celebrate Mary Shelley and her famous novel Frankenstein. Mary Shelley's creation spawned an entire genre, countless movie adaptations, and widespread recognition, and from the spooky October month comes another fun celebration. Here we go. It's all about Frankenstein today. The idea is conceived in 1816. Mary Shelley, along with husband Percy Shelley, poet Lord Byron, and others compete to write the best ghost story while on a trip in Switzerland, and she comes up with the idea for Frankenstein. 1818 is when the book officially comes out, and July 2018, 1823 was the first theatrical adaptation, so that's only 5 years later. Wow, impressive. August 11th, 1823 is the real author is revealed. Frankenstein is published again in 2 volumes, this time under the real author's name, Mary Shelley. 1910, the very first film version, and 1997 is when this day first began. We also then have Bandana Day. It's the last Friday also. Why bandanas? Chemotherapy and powerful anti-cancer drugs cause serious hair loss, and many patients turn to alternative means of covering their heads, commonly including bandanas. In 1776, Martha Washington introduces the bandana to America after she commissions a print of her husband, George Washington, from famous painter John Hewson. It is created but on fabric. 1940s, women use bandanas to tie their hair back and keep it from becoming disheveled in the blowing wind. 1952, President Dwight D. Eisenhower prints his campaign slogan, win with Ike for president. Win with Ike. I don't know what that means. On bandanas and distributes them to the public. 1970s, bandanas are used as a secret code to identify people in the queer community. Interesting. Did not know that. In the 1990s, musicians across genres like rock, country, and hip-hop, Willie Nelson and Tupac, to name a few, create signature bandanas. Cool. We also got National Internet Day. It's all about the internet today. Few could imagine what the internet would mean all these years later. We love this new thing called email, but could we imagine booking entire overseas vacations on our phones at 3 a.m., or something called Instagram, or the web's worldwide implications? Let's take a moment to look back at how it all happened and what's coming next. So 1996, AOL introduces a monthly flat rate for access to internet chat rooms instead of charging by the hour. For $19.95 a month, users could now stay for as long as they wanted. AOL's subscriber base would grow to 17 million by 1999. And in 1998, Apple designs a landmark desktop computer that users could set up with a simple 2-step process. Apple's catchphrase is a popular commercial, "There's no step 3." Another ad showed a 7-year-old setting up an iMac in a little over 8 minutes. That's a long commercial. 2004, Mark Zuckerberg launches Facebook as a Harvard-only social network. By 2011, Facebook's estimated worth stands at $50 billion. The dawn of fake news on Facebook would influence the 2016 presidential election. Dun dun dun. 2019, Amazon emerges as America's second largest private employer. Only Walmart has more workers. Jeff Bezos' company has connections to more than a third of all retail products bought or sold online in the U.S. Amazon also owns Whole Foods and helps arrange the shipment of items purchased across the web. And finally, it's National Cat Day. We've already had some cats show up and some dogs show up on different days, but now this day is for every single cat that exists. It's created by Colleen Page to bring awareness to the number of cats that need to be rescued each year. Cats remind us that just when you think they've lost interest in you, they'll turn around and melt your hearts. This is true. My brother has a cat, which is like one of the cutest cats in the world. He's real chill. I love him. 4000 BC, considered sacred by the ancient Egyptians, many pictures and statues of cats have been passed down through the millennia. 500 BC, the first cat is given to the Emperor of China and quickly becomes a popular pet among the rich. And 100 AD, Egyptian traders introduce cats as to Europeans, that makes more sense, specifically the Greeks and Romans, who used them as pest control. Nice. Moving on, it is now time for some birthdays. First up, we got Bob Ross, American painter. He was born 1942 and passed away in 1995. Yeah, and he just loves all them happy little accents. He's done some pieces such as Mountain Retreat, Winter Night, Northern Lights, and Bubbling Stream. We also have FGTV Duddy, which is, I guess, the dad from that channel. We mentioned his, like, 4-year-old son or something like that a few weeks ago, I think. Interesting that the two people on this channel have birthdays at the same time. He is turning 47. They got some videos here: Ghostbusters in Real Life, Toka Kitchen 2, and Hello Neighbor Story Mod. All right. Next up, we got Ruel, who is an Australian singer/songwriter with things like Painkiller, Face to Face, and Dazed and Confused. I've actually heard Dazed and Confused before. I recognize that song. We also got Grace Condor turning 14. Oh, Ruel's turning 19. I don't know if I said that. Grace Condor, 14. Another YouTuber. We got Gift Swap Box with Emmy Charlize, My Room and Life Update, and Get to Know Me are some of her most recent things, which were in May and June and March. So maybe she hasn't posted too recently then. I don't know. Huh. Anyway, we also got Ellie Thuman turning 20, a vlogger who, let's see what she got, visiting Halloween Town in real life. Oh my gosh. Spooky season fall vlog. It looks like they're carving pumpkins, going to the store and looking at spooky stuff. And Amalfi Coast Sunset Cruise Gone Wild. All right. Italy episode 7. I guess she's in Italy, or was a week ago. But now is back for Halloween also? I don't know. I don't know where back is to anyway, so she could just always be in Italy for all I know. Finally, we got Winona Ryder, an American actress in Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice, Stranger Things, and Heathers, and she is turning 50. So finally, we're going to touch on our random Wikipedia stuff for today. We got in 312, Constantine the Great enters Rome after his victory at the Battle of the Milvian Bridge, stages a grand adventus in the city, and is met with popular jubilation. In 1390, first trial for witchcraft in Paris occurs. 1929, the New York Stock Exchange crashes in what will be called the Crash of 29 or Black Tuesday, ending the great bull market of the 1920s and beginning the Great Depression. And in 2020, Jeremy Corbyn, leader of the Labour Party and the opposition in the United Kingdom, is suspended from the Labour Party following his response to findings from the EHRC on the issue of anti-Semitism within the party. Then, time for our random birthday of the day. We got 1944, Mehmet Haberal, Turkish surgeon and academic, is the founder of Baskent University in Ankara, Turkey, best known for becoming the first transplant surgeon in Turkey after leading the team that performed Turkey's first living-related kidney transplant in 1975, after he returned from surgical training under the mentorship of American surgeon Thomas Starzl, with whom he also performed some of the longest surviving early liver transplantations. And there you go. That's all we got for today. So stay safe, find something to do to just be yourself and be happy, as Hermit Day has suggested. And as always, you'll be hearing back from me tomorrow. Goodbye.